Yo, this is the Clockwork Pi PicoCalc. It's a Raspberry Pi Pico-based DIY kit that you build yourself. And as the creator of Picoware, the firmware that really powers this device, I'm excited to drop my new massive April update. Now, this is not just a patch, it pretty much changes what this little pocket computer can really do. We're talking about a new Game Boy emulator, a whole suite of USB functionality, and powerful quality of life updates like a one-press screenshot key. First, we'll dig into the cool new features that make this one of the biggest updates I've ever done for Picoware, and then I'll show you how to get it installed. Today, we're specifically reviewing the main features from version 1.7.4 through version 1.7.8. Now, this is the one you've been waiting for. With this update, I'm introducing a full-featured Game Boy emulator to the PicoCalc. And it's not just video. In version 1.7.4, I've added full audio support thanks to new audio classes built into the firmware. Then in version 1.7.7, I pushed further with significant audio optimizations. So, in short, the emulator now has sound. But I do want to be transparent about performance. The Game Boy emulator experience is best on a device with an RP2350 processor. The RP2040, which is what comes with the PicoCalc, is not clocked high enough in Picoware to smoothly handle loading the game ROM while streaming audio. It definitely is playable, but you may experience some lag on the RP2040, especially in demanding moments. But in my opinion, it's a huge step forward for retro gaming on the PicoCalc. But for the smoothest experience, the RP2350 is the winner. Okay, next up, in version 1.7.6, I added a ton of new USB functionality with a new USB menu option that lets your PicoCalc act as a USB device for your computer. Now, this is all built on new USB keyboard and USB media classes. I've bundled this into 3 new built-in applications. Inside of the USB menu, you'll see the 3 apps. First is keyboard, and this turns your PicoCalc into a pocket-sized USB keyboard. You go and hit back, and then with a USB micro cord connected to the Raspberry Pi Pico, and then connected to your computer, you can type on the keyboard and it will send the keys to your computer, just as if you were typing on your keyboard. We go back. Next we have one called numpad, and just like the keyboard option, this one only allows you to send the numbers 0 through 9. And then lastly, there is one called media keys, and this gives you physical buttons to control play, pause, and volume on your main computer. In my opinion, it's a super practical feature that makes the PicoCalc a useful desktop companion. The next feature was one of the most highly requested. In version 1.7.7, I've added a system-wide screenshot function. All you have to do is press the F1 key and a perfect pixel for pixel screenshot will be saved to the root of your SD card as a screenshot.bmp file. We can go and check it out with the file manager. Go up, click on screenshot.bmp, click view. And here we are, just as we saw on the desktop. Now, be aware the process can take up to 5 or 10 seconds to complete, but it's still an amazing tool for sharing your high scores, your custom app layouts, or for screenshotting errors that may occur. Now, this update isn't just about the big ticketed items, it's packed with other great additions, like in version 1.7.6, we got a new app called Wiki Reader, which is from one of the contributors and a community member, Slasher006. This app lets you fetch, view, and store Wikipedia articles right on your device, which is awesome for learning on the go. You can even save the articles for offline viewing, like this one I have about mountain gorillas. We also have a new grocery companion app, which was also contributed by Slasher in version 1.7.4. Go down, click on grocery companion, and this app is pretty straightforward, but it's pretty useful. Pretty much you can create a grocery list, we can call it list, and then within there we can add items to our list. And to me, the coolest part is the pantry option. And what you can do is you can either just add items directly to your pantry, or whenever you mark an item off of your grocery list, for example, let's say you make a list, you go in the store, you buy it, you can mark off an item on the list and it will be added to your pantry. Behind the scenes, I've made a lot of improvements. I optimized LVGL to reduce heap usage, freeing up more memory for your apps. The game engine also got a major tune-up for faster performance, and in version 1.7.7, the drawing methods now accept float values for coordinates, which can greatly speed up rendering in custom apps because you no longer need to manually convert them to integers. Now, if you're new here, let's get this installed on your device. You'll only need your PicoCalc and a micro USB cable that supports data. Now, it's very important that it supports data and not just a charging one. The install guide within Picoware's repository is pretty straightforward. Click on installation.md and it walks you through every single step we're about to do now. So first, go ahead and plug the USB in to your computer first. And then if your PicoCalc is not turned to the back already, you need to do so. Now, this is a custom case by the user N602, which completely exposes the Pico, so I can just easily flash this. But if you have the original case, you can still proceed. What we need to do here is get access to this boot button. We're going to need to hold that button down while we are plugging in our micro USB cable to the Pico. Now, if you have the original case, you can use something small like a wooden toothpick to hold down that button. And then we're going to just plug in our micro USB cable, and we will hold that button until we see a new device appear on our computer. Now from there, we go back to the Picoware repository, click on builds, micropython, and then we want to download the UF2 for the Pico that we have inside of our device. So if you have the Raspberry Pi Pico that came with the device, you'll just download the Pico variant. If you upgrade it to a Pico W or a Pico W, you use those variants. To download it, just click on it here, and then you'll go over to where it says download raw file. Now, all we're going to do is drag the file we downloaded onto the drive that appeared. Now, if you have a Pico 2 or Pico 2W, it'll say RP2350 as the drive name. But if you're on the Pico or just the Pico W, it'll say RPI-RP2. You just let it copy over and you're good to go after that. And lastly, for those interested in the auto updates, you can look at our updates.md guide. And what you have to do is install the UF2 loader first, and then you'll use the UF2 loader to flash the UF2. And what that would allow you to do is, if you have Wi-Fi, you can go into the settings and click check for updates. If it's available, it'll download to your SD card and it'll be saved in the same folder that the UF2 loader looks for. And then once the update is complete, you just restart your device and select the newly downloaded UF2. So is the big update worth it? In my opinion, absolutely. It adds some of the most requested features to the PicoCalc. The new Game Boy emulator, complete with full audio, makes retro gaming far more immersive. And the new USB keyboard tools like the keyboard, the media keys, and the numpad apps makes this device really a cool desktop tool. And practical features like the F1 screenshot key and Wiki Reader app make the system more powerful and fun to use. Now, if this guide was helpful and you're excited about the new Picoware updates as I am, make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe so you don't miss out on future PicoCalc content. And now I want to hear from you. Which one of these new features are you most excited about? Is it the USB tool? Is it the new Game Boy emulator with audio? Is it the F1 screenshot key? Definitely let me know in the comments below. I'm JBlanked. Until next time, peace.